good?
Yeah, just
Awesome.
a little twinge.
No,
it's
so
been
you had a
awesome.
good time?
I had an amazing time. This was honestly life-changing. Like, this has opened my mind up to so many different things that I thought I had taken care of, but I hadn't. So it was bloody awesome.
So why did you come to the Crucible?
A change. I knew my cycle that we learnt about was coming to the peak, and I was getting ready to do that drop, and I just saw this as an opportunity. After another brother told me about it, I was like, he wouldn't tell me anything about it, he just said do it. So I just came to do it.
I came to the Crucible because I wasn't the man that I knew I could be. I knew that there was another year that I could take. I wasn't treating the people around me the way that I should have treated them. I wasn't looking after my partners the way that I should have looked after them. I had many relationships that just kept ending over and over and over again. Divorce, cheating, everything. And so because of that, I knew that I needed to change, and I hit a bit of a crossroads after having months of sleeping with, endless women and spending lots of money and buying whatever I wanted, and I realised there was something within me that just wasn't right.
I needed to make a change in my life. I was just struggling, pretty much hit rock bottom. So yeah, it was time to make a change. This is why I'm here.
Awesome. What did you learn from the Crucible?
How I've been living my life, where I'm making mistakes in my life, how I'm not turning up as a man, where I need to come across as certain and what I want to do, not trying to avoid the hard times and backing off.
Did you have a good time?
Had a great time, yeah. Really good.
So why did you come to the Crucible?
Because I was lost, didn't have a map. I was just going around in circles. And there was something back here just over me, just didn't feel right with where I was. And there was a whole pile of things. There was feelings of, is this all there is? Is there something more out there? Could I be something more? But yeah, I think I just knew something wasn't right.
Did you find it challenging?
Yes,
Do you feel like you've accomplished something?
massively.
Learned so much about myself and about my brothers.
You were a good bunch of blokes.
They're a great bunch of blokes. Yeah.
Feel like you bonded with them?
I feel like they're a brother for life. There's a bond there, we've shared experiences, but we've cared for each other and looked after each other in a short amount of time.
Was it emotionally tough?
It's emotionally tough for me. There's some issues that I haven't resolved. I was able to be brought out, let go, and to grow as a man from not holding on to those emotions.
Came to the Crucible because I knew something was missing inside of me, that there was more, I wasn't accessing it, and I knew my relationship could be stronger, I could lead that, same as at work. I just had that itch, something was amiss.
Yeah. And that's what about your relationship with your kids? How is this going to impact their
Massively impact the kids. I hadn't seen just how much I was bringing from my past. I was reflecting onto them. I hadn't stood up and been there for my family. I've let shit happen and just stood back and been a bystander when I've not taken up my role as a man, leader of the family. I feel a lot for the kids now, which I haven't connected with. And there's so much more I can do to set up them for their lives as well now.
After doing the Crucible, are you going to stand up for your family?
Absolutely. Yeah, my family is number one.
Awesome.
The question is, what didn't I learn? That's in all honesty, that's what it is. What I learned was more than I've learned in years, just in 5 days.
Did you get some really powerful life tools?
100%. Like, more than you can think of. It's,
What was the hardest thing? What was the hardest thing?
turning up,
Get past your excuses.
getting past excuses, just turn up. That's all you've got to do.
You feel proud of yourself.
Yes, very proud.
Were the brothers supportive?
Oh, it's a group. They're brothers. They're literally they're brothers. It's not just someone you know. They feel like family.
Where do I start? There's, heaps. Just, for me, a heap of relationship stuff, a heap of emotions stuff. It reinforced a little bit for me about what I knew about families and what they do to kids growing up and where they've come from. But it added so much more to what I knew. You know, it just built on everything.
Being you deal with people, after being with that individual, do you think you'll be able to relate to those people and deal with those people?
I think as a doctor, you know everyone's got a story. But when you do something like this and you hear the other brothers and you get to live their story, and then when you go into it a little bit deeper behind what's going on and you see how that story builds a person, what it does to them, it's got to make me a better doctor. Easy.
Yeah. Awesome. So what did you learn from the crucible?
I learned from the crucible that I've been living my life in my head and through my ego. I haven't been in what is known as a masculine state, and I've been in a very feminine state, being very emotional about everything that I do. And as a result, I haven't been getting everything that I wanted out of life. I didn't have a plan, I didn't have a strategy, I had a goal, but it wasn't really certain. And I lacked that certainty in my life. I always doubted myself. I was always in my head saying to myself that I couldn't do it, listening to everyone else telling me that I couldn't do it. And as a result, I didn't do it.
Was the crucible challenge?
The crucible was, before the crucible, I said the most challenging thing that I've ever done is run a marathon. And someone said to me that I'll never face anything harder. This was like right next to running a marathon. The whole time, you can't pace yourself during it. You have to constantly be on, you have to constantly be going, you have to constantly be looking to improve, and every single moment, you just have to be in state and you just have to be just ready to go.
And was it more than just a physical challenge?
I thought it was going to be mostly of a physical challenge, but it was the most emotionally draining thing that I've ever done, to look back on who I was, where I have been, and to where I'm now going. And as to why that was the case. I think as to why it was the case was one of the hardest things to work out, especially in my relationship with my mum and my dad. And then also looking back at my past relationships as to where I had fucked up.
And after doing the crucible, how do you feel about the relationship now? Where are you ready to go?
I feel really comfortable with where my relationship's going to be going. I feel really comfortable with where I'm going to be headed with work. I've got a very clear plan as to what I want to do, where I want to go, who I want to talk to, what I want to talk to them about, and I'm very certain about my boundaries with work as well, so then I'm not overworking, so then I'm then spending more time with my partner, so then we can then build on our life.
Did you learn new skills that you can implement to change how you show up?
Yes, I have. So
What was the most challenging part?
I've been thinking about that because you've said has the course been hard? I have found it hard, but it wasn't as hard as what I thought it was going to be, if that makes sense.
In what way?
In what way? So I just thought it was going to be a lot harder, and I've come here and I've really enjoyed it, and that's kind of made it easier for me. So it's like, as I said, I love doing it. It's awesome. I just love the personal growth. So
What did you learn from the crucible?
I got the backs of my family. I learned to find my juice, my energy inside, the belief, self-belief, belief that I can lead the family, belief that I'm a good bloke,
Yeah.
genuinely a good bloke. Yeah.
Did we get you tools and things that you could use in your everyday life that'll make your life better?
Absolutely. You come away with the strategy and the resources to actually take my life where I want to take it.
So why did you come to this?
Came to Crucible to carry on this journey that my wife and I started from the code. Yet for me too, it was a new challenge to step up more as a man and find some direction and some purpose and some boundaries and find out where I was lacking.
And do you think the skills that you learned here are going to help you in your life?
100%. 100%. Yeah. I'm looking forward to being a better husband for my wife in many areas as soon as I get home today, forever. Yeah.
What about your daughters?
Looking forward to being a better role model and being a solid father, a caring, loving father, and giving them a beautiful base of life to flourish in, that certainty and security and love, and that pillar, that strong pillar they can always call on.
What did you learn from the crucible?
I learned life is full of challenges, but now I have some skills to face challenges in a better state, whereby I can make the right decisions about those challenges and get through life in a more positive, certain way. And if I fuck up, that's okay, and I've got skills to find out why, to make sure that doesn't happen again.
What would you say to a brother thinking about coming to the crucible?
Don't even think about it. The money was one of the scariest things that I had to face when it came to it, and I sort of sat there and I was umming and ahhing for a bit, but I remember the phone call that I had with you, and I do apologise for that phone call because it was a bit of a cocksucker. I told you were 5 minutes late and I was a dickhead. But after that phone call, like it did make me realise that I needed to spend that money and I needed to go through with it. And the value that you get out of what you've paid for is just so much more, because it's a gift that will just keep giving, because then you're able to help your family members, you'll be able to help your friends, you'll be able to give more advice to clients, it'll help you out more at work, you'll be able to understand situations a lot better as well. So if you're in any kind of situation and someone else is struggling, or like one of your employees, you can then guide them as to where they need to go. But if anyone's thinking about doing it, 100%.
Excellent, thanks very much. What would you say to a brother that is thinking about coming to the crucible?
I'll just say do it, don't even think about it, just sign up.
So you really got some amazing things out of this.
I have life-changing things. This is like once in a lifetime opportunity.
And kind of great bunch of blokes in here.
Yes, the brotherhood here, I've never made a connection like this with men before.
You're going to move forward in life. Are you ready for it?
yeah, I'm ready. I'm a little bit apprehensive, but I know I've got the brotherhood there to back me up, and I'm looking forward to moving on forward and seeing what the future holds for me. So.
You've shown up in such a massive way. It's been a real amazing change from who you walk in the door
Oh yeah.
to who you work at.
Yeah, I can see that in the brothers, how they interact with me, how much I've grown.
Awesome. It's been a privilege.
Thank you. Thanks, mate.
All right. What would you say to a brother who's thinking about attending the crucible?
Just do it. That's it. There's,
Did you find it hard?
find it hard, yeah, mentally and physically hard. The whole point is that unless you beat up against stuff, you're never going to see it.
Do you feel like you've accomplished something?
I've accomplished more than something. This is a life-changing event this week. Life-changing, without a shadow of a doubt. For not only for me, but my relationship and my family and my kids, and even my extended family. Life-changing event.
Is this going to have an impact on your business, how you run things?
Absolutely. I've always touched up on my ceiling. I keep hitting the glass ceiling, then I'd come down, sit up, and that glass ceiling has always been a certain amount of money, monetary value. And now I can see who put that ceiling there was me. And I have strategies and tools from here to actually smash through that now.
Outstanding.
Thanks.
What would you say to a brother that was thinking of coming to the crucible?
It's a good question. If you're cruising in life, you know there's more out there, you know you're hiding something, or if you're in the ego too much, this course is for you.
Will you be able to take your life to the next level after doing the crucible?
You know, your life, your relationships, your finances, your family, everything can go to the next level.
What would you say to a brother that's thinking about coming to the crucible?
Do it. Stop wasting time and just do it. Don't worry about what people say to you. Say, oh, you'll be right, you don't need that. You're good. No, just do it.
And have you got some new skills you can take into your relationship with your partner and your
I've already been using them over the course. I've implemented them on the second day after I learned so much of what I was doing.
Will that affect you?
Yeah, me and my fiance, it's closer. She sees a difference in me, in everything.
And that was in 2 days?
In 2 days.
Mate, I'm really proud of how you've come such a long way. And it's awesome to see.
Thanks.
Well done.
If he's thinking, that's the voice, that's something inside him saying, I need to do more, I need to be better. And he just needs to have the courage and follow through with it. Just do it, take the leap.
Do you think you got value coming in?
Massive, yeah. The financial value is, yeah, obvious, but there's a value that you get, you can't put a price.